The night I went to sleep without my teddy bear. Hello, I'm Laura. You may be thinking about what has to do my teddy bear today in this event, and I bring it with me to explain to you how fiction is a helpful window to promote mental health during difficult situations. Fiction in literature means metaphors and emotions. I have been working with books and promoting literature for the last 15 years, and I have been thinking about what makes people attached to books and stories. I remember Don Quixote, this worldwide famous character who turned out to suffer from madness after reading thousands of chivalric Middle Age novels. And I ask myself if fiction goes beyond crazy characters or Disneyland. I suffered an accident during my childhood that made me attached to bed more time than usual. Surprisingly, I found myself reading entertaining stories that kept me away from the isolation of not going to school for an extended period. Now, I know that everybody has felt deceived or lonely because inside our brains live an entire world that sometimes cannot match other people's thoughts. For centuries, philosophers have debated whether if what we see out in the world is only the projection of our subjectivity versus the idea of this being real and objective. No matter what the discussion may end in the following centuries, the way I can get to know you and the world surrounding me is by talking to you, naming myself and you, and giving words to what my brain is looking at. For example, have you realized that the Earth should be called water and no Earth if we were attached to what we see in a photograph taken from space? I mean, on this planet, we have more water than Earth, but I am sure we call it Earth because we humans live on the Earth. It is our house and is the place where we belong. And what we see from our subjective point of view is meaningful and vital. The way we connect with our world from the inside is more important than we think. So, why sometimes it turns out to be the most challenging task? How many times have you felt flooded inside your thoughts? This issue looks like the imposter syndrome and is related to emotional support and how the psyche works. It seems to be just like the nights I spent with my teddy bear, being so dependent that I could not catch a blink of an eye or get a good sleep if he was not with me. Working on literacy and facing the power of words during the book clubs let me explore the possibility to link my emotions with a fictional story. During that time, I read a lot of fairy tale stories that made a call on my feelings. Without being noticed at all, I began to do mindfulness exercises as a key to find options to raise a meaningful talk during the book club sessions I performed. I found that those feelings gave words in poetry, fairy tale stories, or even letters, and also were an excellent strategy to build mental health and peace in our hearts. I want to give words to our feelings as a celebration of life because, as Heidegger said, we are words and we stand as we can speak. I called my living book The Night I Went to Sleep Without My Teddy Bear because I would like to have a remembrance of that day. And I realized it was a smooth detachment process that began when I started sharing books and talking about them in a kids' club. It happened as nature blossomed during spring, and suddenly, without being aware when it happened, I went bitten by a spider and felt as strong as a Spider Man. I was able to do storytelling as Sherazada saved my life just in the same way as it did to her in the 1000 Nights book. Was I dreaming of a princess trapped in a castle? Oh, I thought that really could get me in trouble. Was I scared to death to laugh about myself with silly jokes? Was my teddy bear a cousin of Winnie the Pooh? At the age of 33, my time was full of fantasy, and at the end of the road, I finally connected the evening during my childhood where I was flying a kite. My brother and I were running in the meadow with the wind smoothing my face, and I was full of joy and laughter. Fiction and dreams took me closer to see what's down beyond that road. As Artley's Butler's songs quote, words have the power to make us help to say goodbye with no regrets, because I am sure that we are here to live, just as I do sleep now without my teddy bear. Every night, I can go back to bed being grateful for who I am and what I have, especially for sharing my fears and these words with you. And this keeps me on the road. Thanks for listening.